I'm Big Lou. This is Big Lou Barbecue and other things I want to do. And last year I made some Pollo con Mojo, which is a citrus-based garlic sauce that's popular in Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean. And we really liked it. It's become a family favorite. In fact, I've even got 2 other videos where I use that since I made that first one last year. But it's really developed into a family favorite. And I now use a sauce that I based on it toward the end of the cook. Now, Reikland's got a recipe for the marinade in his book, but I don't like his marinade. I like the one from Pillsbury with a few modifications that I make to it. You can watch the original video to see how I modify the Pillsbury marinade one. All right, but it's all similar spices. It uses grapefruit juice, all right? And he's got a, the rub recipe is in here. I'll leave a link to that below. He's got a link to it. And the sauce recipe, he's got a link to it. But the original sauce recipe uses naranja agria, which is more traditional. I don't have that. That's sour or bitter orange, all right? And I use grapefruit variation with mint instead of the cilantro, all right? Anyway, we're gonna make it right on my Weber grill. If you see the video from last year, I had some issues with flare up with all that chicken on a straight Weber grill. With the barbecue grill stone, which I recently got from BBQ Dragon, I can just leave the chicken sitting out there and I don't have the issues of the flare up. We're gonna make the sauce right there on the Dragon Wing side shelf, and this sauce is delicious. So the sauce is sort of the update to last year's video. If you wanna see the marinade and the rub, you can just watch last year's video, or you can just, you know how to marinate chicken, right? All right, anyway, this is Big Lou Barbecue. We're making Pollo con Mojo Criollo en Estilo de Gringo. Gracias.
All right, now for the grill thrill. A whole chimney of charcoal goes down there, and then we spread the charcoal out evenly before we put in that grill stone, and it really helped protect that chicken. Now, you need to protect your hands with a glove when you insert the grill stone. Then we put the grate on there, and I turn it around so that one of the hinges opens up to the side where you can add charcoal. I didn't have to, but we did anyway. Now, that chicken marinated for 24 hours. You do not have to marinate it that long. I marinated it in that Pillsbury Mojo stuff, and I had done it the day before, but something came up. I wasn't able to grill that evening. Family had to wind up eating in town, and that's okay. Got to grill the next day, and that chicken was really good with that marinade in it for 24 hours. All right, here's how we make the sauce.
All right, instead of naranja agria, we're going to use a tronja, which in other words means instead of sour orange juice, we're using a grapefruit, all right? Using a whole head of garlic cut up. It calls for 8 large cloves, about a whole head of garlic cut up into little slivers. Half cup of olive oil, which we're going to fry it in. If you've seen my garlic oil video, that stuff is good. So I like this sauce because it starts with that garlic oil, all right? And we got the spices here. There's cumin, salt, pepper, oregano, all the spices that I put into this little cup here, so we've got that done already. And then it calls for mint, the grapefruit mint variation, and I've got this little bit of mint. I had a little bit more, but it blew off. It's kind of windy here, and I might have to go get a little bit more mint if I've got some more in the garden. But anyway, it calls for fresh mint, so I'm gonna just stick that right there so no more mint blows off. And also calls for a little bit of water, all right, about a 1/3 cup of water. So let's get it done, all right? All right, cut the grapefruit. I love grapefruit, and I love citrus with chicken. And we're just gonna squeeze it. All right, both halves of grapefruit have been squeezed, and I'm gonna eat that because I love grapefruit. I'm just gonna pour it in with this 1/3 cup of water and strain the seeds and some of the pulp out. Well, that says 167. I'm looking for about 180 in these chicken leg quarters, so that means it's about time to get this sauce made. All right, Coleman gasoline stove right there. By the way, this stove has basically 3 settings: off, cook, and Nebuchadnezzar style blast furnace, all right? Anyway, let's get it lit and get it turned down to cook. First, you gotta light it on the high. You're not gonna really see the blue flames because it's pretty bright out here. The orange flames are gonna die down when the fuel gets evaporated in that little pipe right there. That's called the generator. And we're gonna be cooking. Starting to happen now. I'm gonna turn it down to the cook mode. You can kind of hear it change sound. Don't know if you can see it. There's a little blue flame there. In the evening, you can see the blue flame shines really brightly, but right out here in the sunshine, you can hardly see it. All right. Let's get the olive oil on there. Get the garlic frying up in it. All right, the garlic is frying, and we're looking for it to become a golden amber brown. If it gets dark brown, it gets a little bitter. So it's getting about the color we want. All right, as you can see, the garlic is getting toasted brown. That's the color we want. Now what I'm about to do is dangerous. All right, because I'm about to pour this grapefruit juice and water into that oil, and it's going to splatter. So step away from your phone, step away from your tablet, step away from your computer. This is going to be dangerous. Don't try this at home. I can do it because I'm an untrained amateur. It's going to splatter all in there. Now we dump the spices in there. I didn't bring a spoon out here. Don't know if you noticed, I'm using this knife, but it's all right. I'm also not using a cast iron pot. Normally I would cook a lot of my sauces in a cast iron pot, but this is a citrus, acidic based sauce, and I usually use this pot here for more acidic things, just to save the seasoning on my cast iron saucepans. All right, the sauce has come to a boil, so time to turn the stove off. Let it cool just a little bit. I'm gonna dump in the mint. All right, I'll let it cool a little bit. I don't want to put the mint in there when it's boiling because I don't want to fry the mint or boil the mint. I just kind of want it to seep in there, kind of like tea, all right? So we're putting the mint in there, and I really should have a little bit more mint, but that's what I've got on hand, and so that's what we're using, all right? I'm gonna stir that around. Sauce is still pretty hot, and we're gonna slather it on this chicken here in just a moment. Well, it's getting close to 180, and I'm probably gonna let it go a little higher than 180, but it's time to put on some sauce. And I might put a second coat on after it gets to 180. All right, let's take a look at these beautiful chicken pieces. Gosh, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. Hold on, I'm bringing you in for a look. Reset the camera. Oh, that grill stone is doing a wonderful job. An absolutely wonderful job. Set this back up on the tripod and we'll get them sauced. There's my sauce right there on the dragon wing. All right. Let's sauce these up. Can you see me? Maybe not. Just gonna take this beast mop and mop these chicken pieces with this Criollo sauce. And since the chicken is done, the leftover sauce can be used as a dipping sauce or pour it over the chicken when you serve it. If the chicken wasn't just about done yet on the outside and I put this mop in there, I'd certainly want to bring it back to a boil before I served it with the chicken.
Well, as you could tell from the audio, it was pretty windy, so we'll just speed things up and I'll voice over. All right, I'd coat every one of these very liberally with lots of that delicious Mojo sauce on there. I really like doing it this way now, and that's the point of this video instead of the one I did last year, because this sauce really just makes it right here, all right? And it was really easy to do right there on the side of the kettle with the dragon wing and that little Coleman stove. Anyway, we sauce it here. I let it go about another 5 or 10 minutes till it gets to a little bit above 180. And then right before I take them off, I do it again. So I go ahead, open up the grill here about 5-10 minutes later, and check each one with my thermopop thermometer. And all of them were above 180. There was about 3 of them that were around 175 to 180, and I left those stay on the grill another 10 minutes or so, and then brought them inside. But once I checked each one of them, just like that, you want to make sure they're all right. And they were all, you know, to the safe level. I wasn't worried about sticking the thermometer in from one undone chicken to another. It wasn't that bad. But I wanted them, you know, a little above 180. So I liberally coat them and paint them with salsa again using the beast mop there. I really like that thing. And it makes it just easy and does a good job coating them with the sauce. All right, and once they get all covered up, we're going to bring them back in. And what I'm going to do now is go back to real time so I can show you what the chicken looks like.
Let's get them off of here. Would you just look at that piece of chicken right there? You just see how gorgeous it is? Can you smell that? Ooh, look at the bottom, not burned. Dragon grill stone. Let's get another one. Look at that bottom. Can you see that? Well, toasty, not burned. I'll show you in the inside light instead of out here in the sunlight. You'll see them look a little better. Come on off of there. Those pieces are going to stay on just a little bit longer. Well, it's all done, and we're obviously missing several pieces because the family has eaten theirs. I haven't tried mine yet, but I want to show you these pieces. And the reason I wanted to redo this video from last year is because I wanted to use it with that grill stone. Because if you notice from my video from last year, if you watch it, I was constantly rotating the chicken pieces around to keep them from burning. Some of the pieces were a little blackened in areas, whatever. But that grill stone, I didn't have to touch it. I put the chicken on and just let it sit there until it was time to sauce it, all right? We made the sauce, we sauced it, let it sit there a little while. A few pieces weren't quite done yet. Let those get done. But look, all of them. You see, it's not, that's my lighting's bad, but maybe you can see it's more of a brown color, and that's one of the small ones. See, that one's hardly burned at all, but they were all done according to the temperature and not real black. That's more of a rich brown right there. All right, then it is a black. I don't know if you can see because of the lighting in here, but I just leave it there and I don't have to rotate it much, all right? Didn't even turn it. That one's hardly burned at all, but I know it's done. I checked it with a thermometer. Look at that one. All right, let's serve it up. All right, well, here's the plate I'm gonna eat with a helping of coleslaw, and I'm just gonna take some of that sauce and get some of those garlic pieces too, because they're good, and just spoon more of it over there right here as we serve it, all right? Now, cut it up so you can see what it looks like. I missed the bone. Cuts right through there if I find the joint. All right, I'm gonna eat the drumstick with one piece. Look at that, y'all. Doing good. This has become a family favorite since I first tried it last year, and making that Reichland's Mojo sauce makes it really good. Sometimes I do it right inside on the stove and take the sauce out there to the grill, and sometimes I'll make it on a separate table outside. Beautiful day like today, I was able to make it right there beside the chicken on that dragon wing. Pretty cool thing. That stone keeps it from burning. Y'all, I love this stuff. Love it. Try it. Pollo Mojo, or Cuban citrus garlic chicken. It's delicious, y'all. Mmm.